Live from the Action Building in Canton, Georgia. Welcome to the SHW36 pre-show.
You've got to be kidding me.
Holy cow.
Owen Knight, your new SHW champion.
SHW, this is our wrestling.
This is just bedlam right now.
Hey, what is going on here?
Tech X, the two-time SHW Tag Team Champions.
And now, the voices of Southern Honor Wrestling, Brandon Benefield and Gerard Bonner.
All right. We are live, GB. We are live. It's me, B-Double. GB, we're here for SHW36. This is your official pre-show here at Southern Honor Wrestling, here at the Action Building.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, if you kept up on social media at all, you heard about the big tailgating contest that was going on. People have been here since early hours of the morning. They've been here all day tailgating, smoking pigs on a smoker, all kinds of great food going on, a bunch of tents set up. We had a DJ, Kenton, our buddy, there was pulled out the DJ gear. It was crazy.
It's been a big night here already, and you know, when they threw the whole idea out about tailgating, you never know how people are going to respond.
Right.
But I am just blown away that our fan base has done they created a wrestling ring outside. It was pure pandemonium. So if you haven't been here, you might want to get here to see whatever is left. It's fireworks were going off. I'm not kidding.
For real. Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm serious. It is crazy here, and it's indicative of the kind of night that is set up before us, because I'm telling you, when we look at this card for SHW36, this is arguably one of the biggest cards we have ever had, and that's really saying something.
Absolutely it is. And it just kept building. We didn't expect this to become one of the big, how WWE has, the big four.
Sure.
AEW currently has, the big
And we have our big one with the Rumble. We have our big two. We've got Rumblejack and Anniversary.
Yeah, and so this is, and sometimes it just surprises you. Like when we had SHW 1000, where he had some guest appearances, that turned into a big event that was kind of unexpected. And tonight, somehow, some way, with the card that as it just kept getting announced each match, it was like, this is shaping up to be perhaps one of our biggest, or at least best cards ever.
Absolutely.
And that's saying something, because we have a great card every single show.
Sure do.
I'm super excited. We've got 7 big matches already announced and 3 big title matches. What's up?
My man. What's going on, Jabari?
Jabari's in the house.
Listen, the people are here, and I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
So, we've got 3 big title matches, 7 matches total. Plenty of scores to be settled. So all kinds of good stuff. Now, let's talk about the matches we have lined up. And let's just go ahead. If you saw our Facebook page earlier, you saw a post about a match that, unfortunately, due to circumstances outside of our control, for the 3rd month in a row, this match will no longer be happening. It was supposed to be Cyrus the Destroyer taking on the Priest of Punishment, Judas.
Yes.
However, due to circumstances out of our control, like I said, it won't be taking place, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But something interesting happened.
A funny thing happened on the way to the forum, right? And here's how it goes down. As we always say, card subject to change. And perhaps that tagline has been no more true in the world of pro wrestling than the last year and a half. Anything that can happen usually will. And so as we've seen in every major promotion, it's happening here. But the flip side is what's happening in place of it. I'll just say is this. It's another match we didn't think we'd ever see, but boy, is there a bit of unfinished business there.
So there's definitely some unfinished business. A man that we found out was going to be in the building used to be a running mate with Judas in a group called Lethal Poison.
Yes.
Of course, that was Corey Hollis, Judas, and one Brady Pierce, the Steel Horse. And Brady Pierce is going to be in the building tonight. And if you recall, the last time Brady Pierce was here, he was being chokeslammed and beaten with a chair by Judas.
It's really crazy. Of course, at that point, Lethal Poison was vehemently pursuing one Gunnar Miller.
Right.
And somewhere in the process, things fell apart. And it's weird because at no point during Lethal Poison's tenure here at SHW had we seen Brady Pierce and, of course, Judas on a different page. They've always been on the same page. They've always been running together. And so now the thing is, who knows Judas better than Brady Pierce.
Right.
And so Brady Pierce has been, having a pretty nice life. Let me just say that. We haven't seen him in SHW since, but the whole world has, of course, being a part of the incredible show Heels.
That's right.
Which is all over the place on Stars. And so now he's coming from there here.
They are literally filming the new season right now in
unbelievable.
Georgia.
Absolutely unbelievable.
He was on set earlier today filming for that show for the upcoming season.
Yeah.
And now, last minute, he was here.
Yeah.
And here he is.
Here he is.
For SHW36. He will be filling in for Cyrus.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you could see it on the we have Zach the Gear Guy over here.
What is going
He's
on
vlogging.
right now?
Zach the Gear Guy. I don't know if he has a new vlog, and I guess we're on the vlog.
Are we on?
He's a little off camera here, but we're on camera over here.
This is funny. It's a live show. He's giving us instructions.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
I'm being called out.
Why did you call me out?
So wait, let me get.
When Crew was not here, but you called me out.
So the people can't hear him. So I'm going to translate.
Okay.
So right now, Zach the Gear Guy is asking us live in front of the world why we called you out, or what is it now?
About Cruel.
When Gary was doing his predictions a couple of Southern Honors ago.
Oh, well, because you kept saying that you were going to challenge Cruel.
I am. He just hasn't accepted it yet.
Okay.
Oh.
So here's the thing. If you've been
boy.
following us for any length of time,
boy.
Cruel put Zach the Gear Guy through a table. This
Yes.
was a few months ago.
Yes.
And ever since then, Zach the Gear Guy has had it out for the Heathen Cruel.
Oh, boy.
I'm worried for your safety, but I hope you can handle yourself.
In this no-holds-barred match, I've been running for a couple of years.
So we are
Okay.
live. The
Yeah.
dead air. We apologize.
We
folks.
apologize. we are again totally live, and anything can happen here. So
You never know.
you didn't know, but Zach the Gear Guy wants to make a no-holds-barred challenge to Cruel. So Cruel, there you have it.
I don't know what he's thinking.
I don't know what he's thinking either.
Anyways, well, speaking of Cruel, let's talk about that match.
Yeah.
Brady Pierce taking on Judas.
Yeah, which I think that's going to be, going back to that,
Yeah.
one might think that because Brady Pierce hasn't been in an SHW ring that he might be at a disadvantage. However, obviously working in that Heels space,
Yeah.
he is bringing legitimacy, obviously, to what Heels is doing, and Heels is doing amazing things. So he is not rusty at
He's
any
staying
point.
in ring shape, exactly.
He's very much in
Yep.
ring shape. And again, the thing is this. He's traveled the roads with Judas. He knows Judas better than anybody else right now in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
The only other person that would know him that well is retired. So I just think at this point, Judas could likely be at a great disadvantage here tonight, being completely surprised, having prepared, of course, for a different opponent. Now he's going to get somebody who I'm sure he didn't think would be here at SHW tonight.
And not only that, but Judas, that happened, and Judas has since moved on and probably
Right.
didn't even think anything of it
Sure.
and hadn't thought about it since.
Sure.
Whereas Brady Pierce has probably been thinking about it daily,
Yes.
and stewing about it,
Yes.
and just waiting, just biding his time for that perfect moment.
Absolutely.
And what better moment than right here at SHW36?
Now's the time. So this is going to be an amazing match. Definitely a bit of a grudge match, and it's happening here tonight at SHW36.
So we just talked about Cruel. As Zach the Gear Guy came over here, we were talking about Cruel and his path of destruction that he's been on the last several months. Last month, especially with Brooklyn not being here, Cruel was completely unleashed.
Yes.
Sal Renaro, our pal Sal, came away shockingly with the victory.
Huge
a
win.
count-out victory after powerbombing Cruel through the table here at ringside.
Right.
And now he has a chance to get revenge on Sal, but this time in a match that favors Cruel a lot more in a no-holds-barred match. Anything goes.
Or
And
does it?
And
That's the question.
I'm
because
super worried for Sal.
I'm worried for Sal too, but I would have never thought, and even though we watched it, even though you called it, even though you just said it, it is still surreal to say that our pal Sal put the Heathen Cruel through a table.
Yeah.
And that's with rules. So without rules, we don't know what Sal might come up with because we saw a completely different version of Sal than we've ever seen at SHW 35. So I certainly counted I counted Sal out during SHW 35. I'm not as apt to do that for SHW 36.
Right.
Particularly now that the Heathen has Brooklyn here, who is, or she might be here, we hope. If she is here, that means there's a leash on him. If there's a leash on him, perhaps Sal has an opportunity to kind of cash in and check in on that space. that is controlled by Brooklyn.
It's kind of one of those kind of catch-22s. Like,
it is.
Is she scary to be around? So when she wasn't here, I was like, oh, good. We don't.
Right.
She doesn't have to get in our face.
She might have revenge on her mind.
But then, at the same time, you do kind of want to hear because she's the only one that can control Cruel.
Yes.
And, of course, Cruel, as we all saw and you saw on social media after the match, went completely ballistic.
Oh, my gosh.
Became unhinged.
Yes.
And started destroying everything in sight.
Well, here's what's scary. What else could he do with there being no rules?
Right.
That's where it gets scary.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I don't – time will tell. But, hey, do yourselves a favor. If you're anywhere nearby the Action Building, Canton, Georgia, you still have, let's see, 50 minutes until bell time.
Yeah.
Tickets still available at the door, so come on out. There's probably still people tailgating. The doors have opened, so a flood of people came in, but I'm sure there's still food and everything going on at the tailgates.
Absolutely.
But come on out and join us if you're not doing anything on a Friday night and you're nearby. But let's talk about this tag team matchup. First of all, there's a history that goes back with Jordan Kingsley, Kevin Ryan, formerly the tag team not yet rated.
Right.
They were part of the Honor Society. That kind of just all fell apart.
Yes.
These two were at each other's throats. Then they kind of made amends, and now they're back at each other's throats again.
Yes.
And so it's been kind of ongoing for the last few months.
Right.
And now they both have different tag team partners and will be facing each other in tag action.
Yes.
You're going to have Adam Priest, who we saw last month, teaming with Kingsley.
Yes.
And you're going to have Dylan McQueen teaming with Kevin Ryan.
Yeah, there's no snowfall happening here tonight. Dylan McQueen is certainly planning on being here. And it's interesting because, of course, Dylan McQueen, Adam Priest. I was afraid I was going to do that.
I've done it before, too.
Adam Priest, they were both the pick-your-poison opponents that Jordan Kingsley and, of course, Kevin Ryan picked to battle each other.
Yep.
And we saw how that went. So now they're going to be in a tag team match. I think this is going to be intriguing. Again, I was so impressed with what I saw with Adam Priest last month. Meanwhile, Dylan McQueen has really been incredible. We've seen him quite a bit, Nightmare Factory and several other places. And I understand that Dylan, again, has kind of some interesting partnership or connection with Kevin Ryan. And they've made plans.
Kevin Ryan is his boo thing.
Well, there it is. It's his boo thing.
I saw it on Facebook.
That's what he said. So I think tonight's going to get really, really interesting. It's going to be very, very personal. And usually when things get personal, somebody can slip on a banana peel. And I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen. If Jordan Kingsley is as focused as he can be, I think there could be interesting chemistry with him and Adam Priest tonight.
All I know is that all four of these guys are top prospects.
They are.
All over the Southeast.
They are.
On the independent scene. And I'm just excited to see all four of them together in one ring.
Yes.
And, and finally to see Dylan McQueen here in an actual match other than the Rumble Jack.
Yes.
Which we saw him in. Of course, we saw him in a Battle Royal match in Ziggy Dice's show a few weeks ago.
That's right.
So I'm excited to see him here in this tag team matchup. But it could go either way.
It sure can.
And I'm excited to see all four of these guys. It's gonna be good.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about, speaking of tag team matches, let's talk about the return last month of a tag team that at one point was considered the best tag team in SHW. In fact, they were the first ever SHW tag team champions. I'm talking about Matt and Joey Lynch.
Yes.
They shocked everybody and showed up last month at the end of the tag title match.
Right.
And they had their sights set on our champs, Technical Excellence. However, just because they showed up, management said, "Well, you're not just going to get a title shot right off the bat.
Absolutely,
you got to go through the paces here and earn your way back up."
That's right.
And so we haven't seen them in nearly a year.
That's right.
And on the same show nearly a year ago was the last time we saw their opponents, which is John and Trey talking about the Washington Bullets.
Yes. This is going to be a very intriguing tag team match for sure. Let me tell you something. If I show up at the White House, I don't get to become the president.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. And I think Matt and Joey Lynch are about to find out tonight that you don't walk back into home and expect everything to be the same way you left it.
Right.
A lot has changed in the last year, and so now begins the road back to the tag team championship. I'll tell you something. The Washington Bullets are an amazing tag team. Multiple-time tag team of the year. Every time they've been here at SHW, they have made a significant impression. And so I think tonight they intentionally want to be the ones to knock down Matt and Joey Lynch. Because here's the deal. We've seen what Technical Excellence can do. We've seen what the SHW tag team titles means here in the Southeast. It's a title that the Washington Bullets have not held. And they want to get that opportunity. And what better way to do it than to come in here tonight and take out the first ever SHW Tag Team Champions?
That would be huge.
It'd
That would
be
be
massive.
A huge step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And I cannot wait for this matchup. Two brother teams. And so that's the thing. It's just like we talked about the Hardy Boys in the past. Like these guys have been tag team partners since they were children.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's going to be a great matchup, and I can't wait to see it. And could do a big thing for either team, a victory to make their way back towards the gold here.
That's right.
And SHW. And speaking of gold, I noticed this was just barely off camera. I'm going to pull it in here.
Yeah, that's right. The people need to see what showed up right before we got on air.
Right before we went on air, the awards showed up.
Yeah, how about that?
Rob Rod brought them by the table. So
in case you missed it, these are the official awards as the 2021 Commentators of the Year for the state of Georgia. And we would not have brought them, but they were brought here to us. So we want you to see they're an actual award, and they're right here.
We'll display them proudly right there.
Absolutely.
For everybody to see. Right in the center of the frame, sort of there. There we go. I want to say, by the way, we have people watching along with us. We appreciate you keeping up.
Yes.
We have a guy, Dylan, who's watching from West Virginia.
And
he hears that Southern Honor Wrestling is really good. Well, Dylan, you heard correctly.
Yes.
In fact, I would venture to say not just really good, it's great. One of the best.
Three-time promotion of the year for anybody who's counting.
In the state of Georgia. And the thing is, people say, it's one of the best in the South, one of the best in the Southeast. I'd venture to say one of the best in the entire country.
Absolutely.
And I'm not just being biased because we work here, but it just really is amazing. So if you come here and see it live, or if you check us out on IWTV, you can see the whole catalog of shows. Right now we're at SHW36. You can see SHW 1 through 35.
That's right.
And you can also check out the documentary, Hold Your Fork, which is also on IWTV. So check that out and catch up. Catch up and see what you've been missing.
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
And listen, as our gift to you, if you go ahead and sign up on IWTV today, use the promo code SHW, and you'll get the first 5 days for free, all right? So that's for you, Dylan, and for anybody else who wants to join IWTV, you can do that tonight. Courtesy of us, first 5 days for free.
Absolutely. I mentioned at the top of the show we have 3 title matches as well on the card tonight.
Yeah,
and
I think that's a first for us.
It is a first.
Yeah.
And before we get into that, I don't want to forget to mention, this isn't a match per se, but Gunnar Miller is in the building. I saw him backstage.
He is.
And we saw on social media that he was going to be here, and he would be calling out Tank and Reverend Dan Wilson.
Yes.
He kind of did that last month as well.
Yeah.
And there's been this ongoing, they've been distracting him, showing up on the big screen during his matches.
Right.
Cost him a couple of matches.
Did.
Last month he was actually able to come away with the win. Didn't let the distraction work that time. But he called them out. They didn't show up.
Yeah.
At least not in person. They showed up on the screens. But will they show up here tonight?
You know, that's the thing. We have been accustomed to them playing all sorts of mind games.
Yeah.
And as I said on our podcast, you know, I don't know where they would show up. They are diabolical in their behavior. Ooh. So that means they literally could show up while Gunnar is picking his children up from school.
That's
they
scary.
could show up when Gunnar's going to the grocery store. They could show up when Gunnar is leaving the gym. All of these things could happen, or they could show up here tonight. I don't know what's going to happen. What I do know is Gunnar needs to continue to do what he was doing during the match last month. Just keep looking over his shoulder, because you don't know when Tank and Reverend Dan Wilson or some representative of theirs will show up.
Well, I hope that they're here tonight, not because I want them approaching me.
I was about to say.
But because I want some sort of resolution. I want Gunnar to at least be able to get his hands on these guys, because they keep playing these mind games and trying to distract him. Like, you know what I mean? He can't focus until he gets these guys out of the way.
Well,
and so they need to show up for that to happen.
That's true. And it's funny. We said that he couldn't focus until, of course, he got Corey Hollis out of the way.
True.
He did that back in October. And now here's Tank and Reverend Dan Wilson. Let's see what happens if they show up. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. They like doing things on their own terms.
You know, just coincidentally, you had Corey Hollis, who ended up retiring.
Yes.
And then you have Tank, who we thought was retired.
Right.
And is now seemingly coming back to get in the way of Gunnar Miller as he tries to make his way towards the SHW title. But
as big as this night has felt, that piece of unpredictability concerns me quite a bit.
So, 3 title matches.
Yes.
And the reason we've never had 3 title matches is because there's only 2 titles in SHW. You have the SHW Championship and the SHW Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, so we'll get to exactly how we got to 3.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about it.
Why not?
We've got a gentleman who's been on the roster since day one here. In fact, he was the very first match at the very first show.
Yes.
That's about AC Mack, the loudest mouth in the South.
Yes.
And if you keep up with us on our podcast, follow us all over the social medias, by the way, at SHW Pod.
Do that.
Well, we talked about it last week. Mack was at a show a couple weeks ago called Southeast First. It was kind of a super show amongst different promotions throughout the Southeast. Some of the best promotions coming together. Our very own Owen Knight defended his title on that show against Kyle Matthews.
That's right.
But the big main event on that show was AC Mack taking on none other than Alex Shelley.
Motor City Machine Gun.
Who at the time was holding the IWTV Independent Wrestling World Championship.
Yes.
That title was on the line. And AC Mack, our very own AC Mack, came away that night winning that match.
Yes.
And is now your IWTV Independent Wrestling World Champ.
Correct.
He has not yet defended that title.
Not yet.
But he will tonight for the very first time.
Absolutely.
In an SHW building. In an SHW ring. Against none other than the longest reigning former SHW champion, David Ali. It just keeps getting better and better and better.
And the irony, as you mentioned, when the match was first announced, at that point, he wasn't the IWTV World Champion.
Right.
All of a sudden, it's funny how things change, right?
Yep.
And so we're sitting here, all kinds of history is being made here tonight. The first time ever that the IWTV World Championship will be defended in an SHW ring. The first time ever that title will be defended by AC Mack. And to go along with what he said that night, it's Southeast First. And when you consider the history, the long-standing history of AC Mack and David Ali, this match is going to be a barn burner. It is historic. I cannot hype it up enough, and quite frankly, it doesn't need hype. It's a story that tells itself, and tonight we get to see what could be the first and maybe even the last title defense for AC Mack. David Ali has been wanting gold ever since he lost the title back in October. 301 days. So what happens when the longest reigning SHW champion takes on the current internet world champion? Not internet, independent. The IWTV Independent Wrestling World Champion. This is going to be insane tonight, and this is another reason why you've got to be here.
It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. But with all the buzz and all the hype surrounding, I don't know if you can hear this on the.
Sorry, it's Michael Jackson.
But with all the buzz and all the hype surrounding AC Mack's win, could you imagine what would happen if, in his first defense, David Ali just puts the kibosh on it?
Well,
takes
here's
that
the
title
thing.
From him.
It's not unheard of.
No.
Okay? The shortest reigning IWTV champion, her reign was only 14 days. The same amount of time that it's been since AC Mack won the IWTV World Championship. This could happen, and it could happen here tonight. The eyes of the world have been on AC Mack and the IWTV World Championship. The eyes of the world will be here tonight. Could we witness a title change, or could this be the beginning of a lengthy title reign for AC Mack?
And you know, you already touched on it when we started talking about this match. But the history between these two men without that title even in the picture.
Yes.
You know, like you said, that match had already been announced prior to the title even coming into play.
That's right.
It just so happened that this happened, and let's put the title on the line.
Unbelievable.
And so it's just crazy how it all worked out. But the history with these two guys, I mean, started training day one together, like six years ago. At the same school.
This weekend, 6 years ago.
This is how they're celebrating their 6-year anniversary.
Incredible.
In a world title match.
Incredible.
Here in SHW ring at SHW36. It's going to be insane. So titles. Let's talk about the tag team titles. Which are also on the line. So Technical Excellence, Kyle Matthews, Chip Day, once again defending against All-Star Special, who had a shot last year. That match, they ended up getting counted out due to some interference by the approved. It's kind of a crazy finish there. They're just now finally getting their rematch. And now they don't have Logan Chase as their manager. We think the approved are out of the picture. So it looks like it may just be Huck and Hanson against Kyle and Chip.
I will tell you, the last time that these two teams got together, it was a match for the ages. We did not know how All-Star Special style would mesh with Tech X. We found out that All-Star Special, they don't just direct the youth choir here.
Right.
They're not just in charge of the jukebox. They get it done in the ring, and they nearly beat Technical Excellence, and they might have had there not been outside interference.
Yep.
Tonight, all of the distractions are gone. All-Star Special, who ironically celebrates their 1-year tag team anniversary tonight, could make the ultimate anniversary gift the day after William Huckabee's birthday. Could this be the greatest gift that they've ever received? The tag team champions defeating the hottest team in all of independent wrestling, Technical Excellence. This is going to be amazing.
It's going to be an amazing matchup, and you still have time to get out here, folks. You have about 35 minutes until bell time. Bell time is right at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And if you're anywhere nearby, get on out here. The seats are starting to fill up, and I know there's still people probably outside wrapping up their tailgates, getting their last little bit off the grills out there.
Eating that good food.
Absolutely. But that is going to lead us into our main event match here. In fact, one of our main event matches.
Exactly.
Which we found out is actually going to be starting the show.
Unreal.
So we're starting the show with our main event, one of our main events. Because, 3 title matches is kind of a co-main event
Absolutely.
at this point. But
Absolutely.
I'm talking about the SHW Championship. Owen Knight defending in a rematch against the Black Cloud. Joe Black is going to be starting the show here right at 8 o'clock.
You know something? When you think about ways to start the show, it is absolutely insane to take a match that would headline any card in independent wrestling and start the show with it. That just tells you how big of a night this is. And let's look at this match here. You've got Joe Black, the only SHW champion to never lose the title in the ring, versus the current reigning and defending SHW champion. The history between these two, we go back just a couple of months to the show stealer of a match they had. I mean, they went 30 minutes and overtime, right? And it's the overtime that kind of got murky.
I was going to say, if you ask Joe Black, that overtime didn't count. It wasn't official.
Right. He says it wasn't official.
Because he got pinned.
We all saw it.
Yeah.
So tonight there won't be any excuses.
Yeah.
I don't know what the time limit's going to be. I'm sure somebody will be here to extend it if it's the first match. So tonight, maybe this gets settled. My concern is this is not the same Joe Black from a couple of months ago who had the 30-minute classic. Remember how he got this match? He choked out Danny Jordan.
Danny Jordan, who was joining us, she returned after a lengthy absence.
Yes.
Was joining us right here on commentary. He came and just grabbed her by the hair, took her in the ring, and just choked her out until he got his way.
I mean, and so if he would do that to get the opportunity, what will he do to win the championship tonight?
No telling.
No telling what he's going to do. And so that's how we're kicking off the show. So if you were planning on being late, speed through traffic, because what you don't want to do is miss the SHW title match that's kicking off the show tonight.
This is going to be insane.
Insane.
I'm so excited. Again, 7 big matches, 3 title matches.
Yeah.
As I said before, plenty of scores to settle. And it's just going to be amazing.
Yeah.
The whole crew's here. We say it every month. It's like a family reunion every single month when we come in here the first Friday. And it's great to see everybody. It's great to see the fans.
Yes.
And, I mean, they're just still filing in from outside. And I'm kind of scoping the scene here. Seats are filling up.
Yeah, it looks good.
We've got about 30 or so minutes here as we wrap the show up.
Yeah.
But GB, any final words for the fans as they're home? If they're contemplating, they're sitting on their couch, they're watching us right now, and they're going, well, it's just right down the street. Should I go?
There is room in the Action Building for you. Make your way here. I'm telling you, this is one of those spaces that you don't want to hear about on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to hear about and have to wait until it goes up on IWTV. We're going to be talking about it all night long. So be here and you be the one to tell your friends, I saw it when. And I don't know what the when's going to be, but you're going to want to be here to see it. So make your way here tonight. And from wherever in the world you are, you can always check us out on IWTV. Go ahead, download it, sign up, and again, on us the first 5 days using the promo code SHW.
Absolutely. That's our gift to you.
It is our gift. Happy New Year.
Yeah, in those 5 days, you could binge watch 36 episodes, right?
Yeah, you could.
Come on.
You certainly could.
Catch up, and then you'd be ready to join us again next month.
Absolutely.
But I'm telling you, you talked about you don't want to be having to hear about this after the fact.
Yeah.
Well, if for some reason you can't make it,
Yes.
you will hear about it after the fact because you can
That's
join us
right.
every single Friday night on the SHW podcast
That's
along
right.
with our beautiful ring announcer who is here somewhere,
Floating around.
Diana Michelle.
Yeah.
As the three of us host the SHW podcast. This
Yes.
is our wrestling every single Friday night on Facebook. Just follow us. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube,
Yes.
all over at SHW Pod.
Yeah.
And we'll keep you abreast of
And-
everything going on.
And by the way, if you're looking for a nice gift for you or someone else, we've got our brand new T-shirts for the SHW podcast. You can represent and tell people your favorite podcast. Just go to ProWrestlingTees.com/SHW pod. You can get a brand new T-shirt right now. They look really good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And wear it to the next show.
Yes, absolutely.
We can't wait to see it.
We'll
Come
take
on out.
pictures with you. We'll do all kinds of fun stuff.
We sure will. We sure will. Wait, I don't know how much. Did you talk to my agent before you?
Oh, well,
started throwing that
I
around?
didn't.
No,
You know,
I'm kidding. It's free. Come take a picture with
come
me.
on. You paid for the shirt. You can get the picture for free.
I'll try not to break your camera.
There you go.
Anyways, come on out
Well,
and join
Diana
us.
will be there. She'll make it good for all of us.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, folks. Well, we are 30 minutes away from bell time. And until we see you, this has been SHW.
This is our wrestling.
Attention wrestling fans, join us for SHW36, Friday, February 4th at the Action Building in Canton, Georgia. The working team captain Owen Knight defends his Southern Honor Championship in a rematch against the Black Cloud, Joe Black. Technical Excellence will put their tag team titles on the line as they face off with All-Star Special. Two monsters collide as Cyrus the Destroyer goes one-on-one with the Priest of Punishment, Judas. The Heathen Cruel is out for revenge as he takes on our pal Sal in a no-holds-barred grudge match. Plus, AC Mack defends his newly won Independent Wrestling World Championship for the first time against David Ali. And after nearly a year away, Matt and Joey Lynch return to the ring as they face the Washington Bullets. Also in action, Jordan Kingsley, Adam Priest, Kevin Ryan, Dylan McQueen, and more. And will Gunnar Miller finally get an answer from Tank and the Reverend? There's only one way to find out. Join us live in the Action Building. Tickets go on sale at the door the night of the show starting at 5 p.m. Doors open at 7, bell time at 8. Trust us, you don't want to miss this show. SHW, this is our wrestling.